computer, which is awesome. It updated now. Okay, 11:28:52, I believe. Srimad Bhagavatam. So, okay. Do you know the Sannyas verse? I had it yesterday. Yeah. Could you pull that up for me? Hmm. 11:23:57. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. Etam sa asthaya paramatmanishtham paratmanishtham adhyasitam purvatamaihi maharishibhihi aham tarishyami durantaparam tamaha mukundangri nishevaya eva etam sa asthaya paramatmanishtham adhyasitam purvatmair maharishibhihi aham tarishyami durantaparam tamo mukundangri nishevayaiva etam sa asthaya paratmanishtham adhyasitam purvatamair maharishibhihi aham tarishyami durantaparam tamo mukundangri nishevayaiva etam sasthaya paratmanishtham adhyasitam purvatamair maharishibhihi aham tarishyami durantaparam tamo mukundangri nishevayaiva. Please repeat. Someone else?
Etam sa astaya paratmanishtham adhyasitam purvatamair maharshibhihi aham tarishyami durantaparam tamo mukundangri nishevayaiva
etam sa astaya paratmanishtham adhyasitam purvatamahir maharishvihi aham tarishyami durantaparam tamo mukundangri nishevayaiva etam sa आस्थाय परात्मनिष्ठाम् ध्यासतां पूर्वतमैर्महर्षिभिः अहं तरिष्यामि दुरन्तपारम् तमो मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रिणशेवयैव
Okay, Mataji's. Shami Durantaparam. Etam, this, saha, such, asthaya, becoming completely fixed in, paratvanishtham, devotion to the Supreme Person, Krishna, adhyasitam, worshipped, purvatamaihi, my previous, maharishibhihi, acharyas, aham, I, Tarishyami, shall cross over. Durantaparam, the insurmountable. Tamaha, the ocean of nescience. Mukunda Angri, of the lotus feet of Mukunda. Nishivaya, by worship. Eva, certainly. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This verse is quoted by Krishna Das Kavira, translation. No, this is so translation and purport, sorry. I just skipped over translation accidentally. I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nescience by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. This was approved by the previous acharyas who were fixed in firm devotion to the Lord, Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. This verse is quoted by Krishna Das Kaviraj in his Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 3.6. Srila Prabhupada comments as follows. In this connection with this verse, which is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.23-57, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that of the 64 items required for rendering devotional service, acceptance of the symbolic marks of sannyas is a regulative principle. If one accepts the sannyas order, his main business is to devote his life completely to the service of Mukunda, Krishna. If one does not completely devote his mind and body to the service of the Lord, he does not actually become a sannyasi. It is not simply a matter of changing dress. In the Bhagavad Gita 6.1, it is also stated, Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yah sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. One who works devotedly for the satisfaction of Krishna is a sannyasi. The dress is not sannyas, but the attitude of service to Krishna is. The word Paramatma Nishtha means being a devotee of Lord Krishna. Paratma, the Supreme Person, is Krishna. Ishvara Paramah Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha. Those who are completely dedicated to the lotus feet of Krishna in service are actual sannyasis. As a matter of formality, the devotees accept the sannyas dress as previous acharyas did. He also accepted the 3 dandas. Later, Vishnu Swami considered that accepting the dress of a tridandi was Paramatma Nishtha. Therefore, since sincere devotees add another danda, the Jiva danda, to the 3 existing dandas. The Vaishnava sannyasi is known as Tridandi sannyasi. The Mayavadi sannyasi accepts only 1 danda, not understanding the purpose of 3 danda. Later, many persons in the community of Shiva Swami gave up the Atmanishtha, devotion service to the Lord, and followed the path of Sankaracharya. Instead of accepting 108 names, those in the Shiva Swami Sampradaya follow the path of Sankaracharya and accept the 10 names of sannyas. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the then existing order of sannyas, namely Ekadanda, he still recited a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam about Tridanda sannyas, accepted by Brahmana of Avantipura. Indirectly, he declared that within the Ekadanda, one danda, 4 dandas exist as one. Accepting Ekadanda sannyas without Paramatma Nishtha, devotion service to Lord Krishna, is not acceptable to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In addition, according to the exact regulatory principles, one should add the Jiva Danda to the Tridanda. These 4 dandas, bound together, are one, or symbolic of unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. Because the Ekadandi sannyasi of the Mayavad school are not devoted to the service of the Lord, they try to merge into the Brahman effulgence, which is marginal position between material and spiritual existence. They accept this impersonal position as liberation. Mayavadi sannyasis, not knowing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Tridandi, think of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Ekadandi sannyasi. This is due to the Vivarta, bewilderment. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no such thing as Ekadandi sannyasi. Indeed, the Tridandi sannyasis is accepted as a symbolic representation of sannyas order. By reciting this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the sannyas order recommended in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Mayavadi sannyasis, who are enamored of the external energy of the Lord, cannot understand the mind of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To date, all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, following in the footsteps, accept the sannyas order and keep the sacred thread and tuft of unshaved head. The Ekadandi sannyasis of the Mayavad school give up the sacred thread and do not keep any tuft of hair. Therefore, they are unable to understand the purport of a Tridandi sannyasi. And as such, they are not inclined to dedicate their life to the service of Mukunda. They simply think of merging into the existence of Brahman because of their disgust with the material existence. The Acharya, who advocates the Daiva Varnashrama, the social order of Chaturvarnam, mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, do not accept the proposition of the Asura Varnashrama, which maintains the social order of Varna is indicated by birth. The most intimate devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, namely Gadadhara Pandit, accepted the Tridandi sannyasa and also accepted Madhva Upadhyaya as his Tridandi sannyasi disciple. It is said that from the Madhva Acharya, the Sampradaya known in Western India as the Vallabha Acharya Sampradaya has begun. Srila Gopala Bhatta Vasu, who is known as Smriti Acharya, is the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. In the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, later accepted the Tridandi sannyasi order from Tridandipada Prabodhananda Saraswati. Although acceptance of Tridandi sannyasi is not distinctly mentioned in the Gaudiya Vaishnava literature, the first verse of Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita advocates that one should accept the Tridandi sannyasi order by controlling the 6 forces. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jihva vegam udarupasta vegam etan veganyo vishaheta dhirha sarvam api mam prithivim sashurshyat. One who can control the forces of speech, mind, anger, belly, tongue, and genitals is known as a Goswami and is competent to accept disciples all over the world. The followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never accept the Mayavad order of sannyas, and for this they cannot be blamed. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted as Sridhar Swami, who was a Tridandi sannyasi, but the Mayavadi sannyasis, not understanding Sridhar Swami, sometimes think that Sridhar Swami belonged to the Mayavadi Ekadanda sannyas community. Actually, this was not the case. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Svapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shitapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrasatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaditam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavane Shri Bhishavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kapatarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Bhyavicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Niti Namane. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Hai Vigna Vinashana Naya Shahai Naja Vanchita Purana Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmashpratikakritam Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hai Grivam Upasmahi. So, today is obviously a very special day for the whole Gaudiya Vaishnava movement. It is not just a small festival, it's a lot actually in this particular year that Srila Prabhupada took sannyas. A lot of, the whole of Srila Prabhupada's life is very significant, but this particular year we can count to be very, very significant for us. Because what happened, what are the few things that happened that year? Does anybody know? This was taught a little bit, and I don't think anybody is here amongst the men who were in those bhakta classes. In what year did Srila Prabhupada take sannyas? 1959, right? In that year, Srila Prabhupada took sannyas. What else did he do? He wrote, I believe in that year, he also started his writing of his Srimad Bhagavatam. And he also moved into Radha Damodar Mandir. These are very significant things for us. The fact that he's taken he's always taken complete shelter of Rupa Goswami, but the fact that he is now taken sannyas and he's moved into this temple or the samadhi of Rupa Goswami is very significant. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Ena Bhutale. We are Rupanugas, and now he's beginning the Srimad Bhagavatam, and in the same year he's taking sannyas. President. It's what's to come. What is there to come? How many big things? Now he did the hub of the whole world, spiritual world. He's entered. Srila Prabhupada, few things about his life, just so devotees are up to date and know. What year was Srila Prabhupada born? Or took appearance in this world? 1896. I hope all the men know that because it's an easy one, right? 1896. What year did Srila Prabhupada meet his spiritual master? 1922. What year did Srila Prabhupada take initiation from his spiritual master? 1933. What year did Srila Prabhupada, what year did Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Srila Prabhupada leave the planet? 37. 37? 4 years after he took initiation. 36. I think there's a little confusion because it happens in December and January. But I read in one of Guru Maharaj's books that he counts it as the 1st of January in one place. I heard from him.
He left December 31 after 12 o'clock.
Okay, in 1937? So 36? 36, 30. Yeah, I had that dilemma too when I was...
Depends on which calendar.
Yeah, depends on which calendar you're looking at. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada took initiation, his spiritual master leaves the planet. And what year did he leave family life? 50. Srila Prabhupada mentions that in 1950 I decided I'm done. I'm done with this. I still had a little bit of business here and there, but mostly I left everything. 50. And then Srila Prabhupada takes... he goes to Vrindavan and he does so many things. He's in Delhi trying to work with Tirtha Maharaj and doing so many different things, writing books. I believe he had already begun this easy journey to other planets. So, and then in 1959 he takes sannyas. So we see that in Srila Prabhupada's life that there was, the connection with his spiritual master, or his whole life, you could say most of his life he lived as a householder. Even when he met his spiritual master, already he was a householder. And amongst the Gaudiya Mat, the Grihastas were known as Kacha Grihastas. Pacha? Is it Pacha? Pacha. Kacha or rotten Grihastas or Pacha Grihastas. Is rotten Grihastas, what will they do for the movement? Because Gaudiya mission means to preach. You go out and preach. But the householders were not particularly able to do that. So Srila Prabhupada was one of those householders. But we see throughout even Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's stay in this world, he's often said that I marked this person he likes to hear. He was very impressed with Srila Prabhupada's writings and even Srila Prabhupada's enthusiasm to push on the Gaudiya mission. He was helping very closely with his godbrothers throughout his whole life. So Srila Prabhupada, he was, you could say, you look at it like that from an external point of view. Attached householder, has a wife, has so many kids, big business, pharmacy business. So attached householder. Even actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came to him in his dream twice when he was in household life. Initially he came and said, Abhay, you take sannyas. And Srila Prabhupada this is mentioned in the Lilamrita, that Srila Prabhupada was a little afraid. He was a little scared. It's like, oh, how horrible, he thought. He knew it was not an ordinary dream, yet the request seemed so difficult and unlikely. Take sannyas. He's got a house, and wife, kids, business. Well, I got to grow this business, and then I'll preach Krishna consciousness. I'll make this business big, and I'll have enough money to go and preach Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada mentions like that. This is how I was thinking, or how I wanted to do things. And then again later, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur reappears in his dream, still in householder life, and he tells me, take sannyas now. He takes sannyas, but Srila Prabhupada says, now I have 5 children. How can I take sannyas? I have 5 children. How is that possible? It's not possible. And it's mentioned that, why is my Guru Maharaj asking me to take sannyas? It is not possible now. Srila Prabhupada, it's mentioned in this Lilamrita, that Prabhupada was saying like that. Why is my Guru Maharaj asking me to take sannyas? And so, as Srila Prabhupada, as we know, as Prabhupada says, the history is very well known. As Srila Prabhupada's business basically started to die off. He's losing so much money in his business. So many things happened, I can't remember exactly all the details. But over the years, Srila Prabhupada's business started to drop off. And of course, as he writes many times in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this Yatyaham Anugrahnami, that slowly Krishna is taking away everything. Those who I actually am merciful towards, I gradually take away all his material possession, his friends, his relatives, then reject his property stickton and make him property stickton and most wretched, rejected by the society. So Srila Prabhupada mentions that here somehow or other my intention for preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu increased, and the other side decreased. I was not disinclined, but Krishna forced me. You must give it up. The history is known how it decreased, and decreased. So it was seen that his whole business was dying out, and Srila Prabhupada had a proper vision. He saw this as a result. He saw this as in light of his spiritual master's instructions, that it is not separate, that Krishna is being very merciful to me. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned that my desire to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya increased more and more as my business died out. We see that Srila Prabhupada, although today, actually interesting, it says that date is actually also the 17th of September in 1959. Generally with the lunar calendar, they generally fall a little bit out of line. So in the morning of 1959, Srila Prabhupada took sannyas from Bhakti Pragya Kesha Maharaj. Now, the meaning of sannyas, as we are reading in this verse, is very significant. Because as we understand, there was also this Mayavad understanding of sannyas. Just merge into the light, this one, Ekadanda. But obviously, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the proper understanding of this sannyas and how one should actually be fixed in sannyas. Now, Srila Prabhupada taking sannyas and the whole mood and attitude of sannyas, as Srila Prabhupada mentions in this, the attitude of a sannyasi is that he is surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his mind, body and words. And this is what this is the whole symbol of sannyas, that one gives up all of these things, one gives up his vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. He gives up nonsense talk. He controls his tongue, vacho vegam, manasa krodha. He controls his mind, controls his words, his senses. That is the real meaning of sannyas, as Srila Prabhupada relates in this purport. That is what Rupa Goswami is telling us. Actually, that is real sannyas. So Srila Prabhupada taking sannyas, did he need to take sannyas? Or is he a sannyasi his whole life? Was he not at the immediate moment? I mean, even before that, of course, Srila Prabhupada mentions that there was never a time where I forgot Krishna. There was never a time in my life where I did not remember Krishna. It is coming from the spiritual world, Nitya Siddha. But even in the display of the pastimes within this world, Srila Prabhupada never forgot Krishna. Never exhibited that pastime of forgetting Krishna, like we see with Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He never exhibited that. But he mentioned, it's interesting because this is the symbol of sannyas, as 6.1 is quoted. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. So Srila Prabhupada's life, if we analyze the life of Srila Prabhupada, if we see him, even we see him in the light before he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there's seemingly to be, okay, he's following Gandhi and doing all of these things. But actually he was taught by his father, he says, my spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he taught me books. But my father, he taught me so much, taught me everything. But I learned this book production from my spiritual master. So Srila Prabhupada's body, mind, words is never deviated from devotional service. It's not that the acharyas, they take sannyas with the idea, now I'm dedicating body, mind, and words. That is our vision. Sometimes. Like now I have to dedicate my body, mind, and words. No, it's all times. At all times, the body, mind, and words. Our words are always to be used not for nonsensical talk. Our mind is meant to be concentrated upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And our body is meant to for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As Maharaj Ambarish teaches us. By his example. One should completely be engaged, and as Srila Prabhupada teaches us. So, the sannyas order of life is the renounced order of life. As we see also Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur prominently establishing that back into the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. You don't really see it after the within the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so much. We see Gadadhar Pandit and one of his disciples, but then you don't see it with Bhakti Vinod Thakur, you don't see it with him, you don't see it with Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, you don't see it with Jagannath Das Babaji. So, because as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu warned, within this Kali Yuga, what sannyasis generally take advantage of the order of sannyas. And we see that even now, as being mentioned here. What do? They generally just take sannyas to exploit their disciples or exploit the society at large, take the renounced order of life, take the saffron cloth. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu warned against it, and we say in Shastra that it is not particularly recommended that in Kali Yuga one takes sannyas. It is not recommended. We understand the karma sannyas. But nonetheless, it is a position by which one can easily become puffed up because one gets worship. Round sort of life is worshipable. You've given up everything, you've left everything, you've renounced it all. No more material things to acquire. So seemingly it's a very exalted position of life. So more or less within our sampradaya, as also Srila Prabhupada mentioned, it is not particularly mentioned in any Gaudiya Shastra that one should take sannyas, or one needs to take sannyas, or one is not even advised to take sannyas. But we see Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur bring it back in prominently. He gave his disciples 17 sannyasis, is that right? 18 prominent sannyasis. Or Guru Maharaj, I was listening to this long lecture of Guru Maharaj some time ago, so he mentions 17 or so sannyasis. He himself, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur himself, is a controversial personality in this order of sannyas. How does he take sannyas? He gives it to himself, practically. He puts a picture of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji and just throws this dust on himself. 20 sannyasis. How can you give sannyas to yourself? After you see the whole line of acharyas is like practically almost not there. But this verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam gives us a proper understanding of how Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what he did was completely not just bona fide, but there's no question to it. I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nescience by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. This was approved by the previous acharyas who are fixed in firm devotion to the Lord, Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is more fixed than Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? His sheer determination, if you want to, all of our acharyas, but you look at the life of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and personification of determination to reestablish the pure message of bhakti, the instructions of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, establish pure holy name, Varnashram, and distribute this literature. Chaitanya Shikshamrita, he particularly instructed to distribute. Is that? And Jaiva Dharma. He said, you distribute these literatures, establish Krishna Bhakti. What else is being more fixed than in those instructions? And he saw what is the best way to do that. He actually, my spiritual master, he went and observed. This Ramakrishna mission was very successful in that they were taking sannyas. And also he observed the Sri Vaishnava line of, that Vaishnava line, and there's sannyas within that. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did the unprecedented thing almost within the Gaudiya tradition and took sannyas and gave so many of his disciples sannyas. But Srila Prabhupada wasn't a sannyasi, or didn't receive sannyas from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He didn't take sannyas. He wanted to. He said, immediately I should have joined. Immediately I wanted to join. But I had so many things to take care of. It was nice that my spiritual master was relating this pastime with Bali Maharaj, and 2 days ago was the appearance day of Vamana, and mentioning that Srila Prabhupada, I don't want to say this wrong, wait, before you go, how does exactly is that said? I don't want to say it wrong. That Srila Prabhupada is more than Bali Maharaj, his surrender.
Oh, yeah.
Is that exactly how it's said?
Comparing Prabhupada to Bali Maharaj, and Yashomadinam corrected him and said Prabhupada is more than.
Yeah, Prabhupada is more than Bali Maharaj. And it's kind of a similar situation, you could say. You see, Bali, from practically the time he was born, he wanted to surrender to Vishnu. Why? Why did he want to surrender to Vishnu? How do we know? Prahlad Maharaj, right? Prahlad, what did he teach? What did he teach Bali? Anyone want to quote a verse? Anything? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam, he tells it to Hiranyakashipu. How will he not tell it to his grandson? So Bali from a young age also wanted to surrender to Vishnu straight away, but he couldn't. Under his occupational duty as a demon, of course Srila Prabhupada's life is a little different. But we can see the similarities that, okay, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur immediately told him, you go preach to the West. What does that mean? Okay, take sannyas, go ahead. Come on. Go to the West, preach. Preach this message. It's a little difficult to preach if you go and preach a whole mission if you have wife and kids and home and family and do all of these things, have all of these things. So practically you can see from the beginning, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was encouraging Srila Prabhupada to take sannyas. Srila Prabhupada mentioned, he's mentioned this before. From the beginning, Srila Prabhupada was telling, take sannyas. He was telling Srila Prabhupada, you take sannyas, what's the problem? You should preach this message to the West. You're a very learned man, you preach this message. You do good to yourself and you'll do good to everyone around you. You'll do good to the whole world. The meeting of the two great acharyas. But Srila Prabhupada couldn't, under his pastime of circumstances, wife, home, kids, family. Got to take care of these things. How can I leave? I cannot leave. I wanted to. Srila Prabhupada's desire within the heart was to completely just give it all up and just surrender. But he has his duty. As the Bhagavad Gita written explains, that not that who he lights no fire and one who lights no fire and performs no duty. Srila Prabhupada understood, I should not leave my wife and children. But what was his internal mood? His internal mood, Atma Nivedanam. Let me surrender to the Supreme, to my spiritual master. Guru Pada Ashraya. Complete surrender he had. And he may not be able to exhibit it externally, but internally Srila Prabhupada was completely surrendered to the instructions of his spiritual master. Therefore, he immediately gave up his, idea that he would, the pastime of his idea of following Gandhi, he gave it up. He gave it up. When he heard the words of his spiritual master, he wanted to surrender. He wanted to just perform this, what his spiritual master is asking, but he couldn't. But that does not mean that, just like Bali Maharaj, within the heart, he was always cultivating that desire. When can I? Waiting. Oh, when will Vamana come? When will the Supreme Personality of Godhead come? When will Vishnu come? Srila Prabhupada is also in his heart. When will I be able to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya without any condition? When will I be able to just go and preach? Okay, I have to take care of the children, I have to take care of this home. But internally, he's completely surrendered. Externally also, what is the difference? He's going and preaching so much, but he's exhibiting this pastime of having a household life and having to maintain it and do all of these things. So Srila Prabhupada, it's not that he becomes a sannyasi at the initiation ceremony. Now, he puts on a dress of a sannyasi, but the real sannyas is one who is always worshipping the Lord without any other motive. Without any other motive, no other motive within his heart. Yana karmade anavritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktiruttama. That who is on the platform of real bhakti, one who has real devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is a real sannyasi. As Srila Prabhupada often also said to his disciples, you serve your whole life with no other motive, full time. That is sannyas. But still the dress is there, still the danda is there. Why? As Srila Prabhupada mentions here in this purport, that the acharyas, there's no need for them to actually take up all of these things. But they do it in order to preach the mission, in order to establish a level of respect. Because there's respect for that order. As we see with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there's no need for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to take sannyas. But he had to do it, otherwise nobody took him seriously. Oh, this is just some guy who's just singing and dancing and chanting, and why should we take Nimai so seriously? But when you took sannyas, then people immediately, sannyasi walks in, immediately you have to pay obeisances. So Srila Prabhupada, on this particular day, took the position of sannyas for the purpose of preaching the mission of Lord Chaitanya. And his spiritual master pushed him to do so. He was going on a ride. He renounced his household life. He was writing books. He's going on. But as Srila Prabhupada said, this is a pushing moment. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was pushing. Take sannyas, take sannyas. And one night, Prabhupada said, even after he renounced, he said, my spiritual master came in my dream and take sannyas. And my godbrothers, specifically actually, his godbrothers were pushing him, you take sannyas. And he took that, this is my spiritual master instructing me. So Srila Prabhupada, his taking of sannyas is the establishment or a very clear understanding of his firm, fixed position in his relationship with Krishna, in his devotional service to Krishna. Now you could say, well, after the whole household life, leaving household life and all of this, is it the right time to go and preach? And you say, well, now there's no condition of household life. But you look at his life and what does he have? Neither does he have money, neither does he have disciples, neither does he have good health. He's 70 years old practically at that time, exhibiting these pastimes of what does he have? What does he have? He was thinking in the beginning that I'll have so much money, then I'll be able to utilize that. But now he doesn't have anything. This surrender means complete dedication without any consideration of what state of existence we're in, whether you have money, whether you have wealth, whether you have health, whether you have family, such and such and such. So what could be a bigger, higher emblem than the Acharya who comes? He has practically no facilities. The Gaudiya Mutt or the Chaitanya Mutt, he tried to get help from them to facilitate his printing of his books. But Tirtha Maharaj was not so accommodating. But then you see, there's not so much other places that Srila Prabhupada saw that could accommodate what he wanted. And he was telling his godbrothers, I want to go to America. Everybody was practically saying, you can imagine, he's a 70-year-old man, and he just took sannyas, been a householder his whole life, now wants to go preach in America. Who would support him? Actually, you think about it, even in our situation, if someone said that, we're like, I want to go preach on Mars, it's like, okay. And okay, now there's a civilization Mars, I want to go preach on Mars, yeah, okay. It's understandable to some extent. So no support, no hope. Nobody else has hope because even himself, he saw his own sannyas godbrothers who are stalwart devotees, the right-hand men of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, go to the West and just come back without any success. No success. Impossible, some of them were saying, it's not possible to do. So what is a bigger emblem of surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead than to take upon the service of going and preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya? Well, how can you even imagine that? I want to go to America, okay? You want to go to America? What's her name? Srimati Murari. She said, old man, you will die. If you look at it from an external point of view, I'm sure if we were there and he told us that, we were like, what are you thinking? He's like, why would you go? Stay here in Vrindavan. If any older devotee came to you and said, now I want to go and preach in North Korea, what would you say? What would you say? You'd be like, forget it. Go to Vrindavan and die there, that's all. Finish. That's all. Why you want to go to North Korea for? There what will happen? You'll die. My God. America, New York City, how cold that place is, how crazy that place is, and you want to go there with no money, no establishment, no organization, no support, no disciples. Look at Srila Prabhupada's health. 2 heart attacks on the thing. Before that, even he was having so much trouble in Delhi. Amongst all the situations, Srila Prabhupada is thinking, no, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. I have to preach. What is a bigger emblem of surrender? Why is it bigger, more than Bali? Because, well, I have to preach. I have to go into hell, basically. And Prabhupada said, I shall go to hell next to preach. Well, he's already done it here, so what's the next thing? Okay, go to another hell. What's the problem? He's in Sri Vrindavan Dham. He's in Rupa Goswami. He's moving into Rupa Goswami Samadhi. He's able to write every day looking at that. He's having visions. So this sannyas he didn't just take sannyas to stay in India and go and live in Vrindavan for the sake of the order of sannyas. He didn't want to take. He didn't want to take that. But he took sannyas for what? For the specific reason of preaching the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. And he began that writing that year also. What a challenge. My God, you're 7 years old already. So much indication is there of that not so much time is left in this world. Now let's begin. 12 cantos I got to write. What is a bigger emblem of surrender? Who could imagine? Who could even think like that? Who could think like that? Therefore, impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. Why? Because I am Srila Prabhupada. He's saying that because he himself is a representation of those who say impossible. That no, it is possible. I did it. Therefore, it's a fool's dictionary because I am a representation of that. Those who everybody said impossible. In my mind, I thought it was impossible almost, but I did it. So Srila Prabhupada is taking this sannyas on this particular day, not with the idea of just changing dress, not with the idea of getting name, fame, distinction, adoration. He has no desires for that. He doesn't care for that. He doesn't even want it. He's being pushed. So Srila Prabhupada's position, how high is his position? We cannot imagine. We cannot think. He's taking up this sannyas order of life and he's preaching. He's giving body, mind and words. Complete dedication. Never was there a time where there was no dedication. Now he's exhibiting that pastime and he's showing this is the caliber of Srila Prabhupada. Now he's showing, okay, and what a better time to show than age of 70. Really make it a point. So this Tridanda Sannyas is very significant in the sense that it is complete surrender. And it doesn't particularly just mean with the change of dress or the taking up of the 4 dandas. It is done as a formality. But it's seen that the sannyasi who takes sannyas is surrendered before that also. And Srila Prabhupada expected all his disciples to be surrendered, and his grand disciples, and there's so many generations coming in. And sannyas specifically being referred here, vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udara pashta vegam. Very simple, it seems. This is one of the smaller books that we have, just a small book, right? I don't want to read the small, I want to read the big books. Nectar Instruction is a small book. But it contains everything we ever need to know in this one verse. So, vachu vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jihva vegam, udara pashta vegam. That then the control of the mind senses the word, speech. This is real sannyas. Surrender unto Krishna with these 3 things. Complete devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this is real sannyas. And we see Srila Prabhupada's life is completely full of that. There's never a lacking of any of that in Srila Prabhupada's life. So, Srila Prabhupada showed by example what is real sannyas. He showed by his example. His whole life is a principle of sannyas. And then after his taking of this dress and danda, he again showed with vigor. Now, set out to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. As he writes, this is my favorite line in the books of Srila Prabhupada. He writes, in regards to the pastime with Sanjay and Dhritarashtra leaving home, he writes that we also had to cheat our families in order to preach the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. But this is transcendental cheating. This is transcendental cheating to preach the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. We've had to take the order of brahmacharya. We've had to take the order of, we've had to take up devotional service. It may not be brahmacharya, but our parents may reject us. Our society may reject us. Our friends may reject us. Even our own, in Srila Prabhupada's case, even his godbrothers may reject him. No, you can't go. Even afterwards, after he went and preached, still he was not very welcomed. But that does not stop one from crossing over the insurmountable ocean of nations by being firmly fixed in the lotus feet of the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. Completely fixed. So we take Srila Prabhupada's pastime, and it's so nectarian pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. How great, it's impossible to understand. The level of surrender, I mean, like, if we look at our own lives, it's vacho vegam, control of our own words, mind, is practically feels impossible. So these pure devotees of the Lord, there is such an exalted platform that we cannot even start to even get a glimpse of it, like understand. We start to get a glimpse by seeing. But we cannot understand. The only way we can understand is by practicing more devotional service. When you realize how difficult surrender is, for them it's not difficult, of course, but the exalted nature of this surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we can start to understand his position. And how Srila Prabhupada's position is even greater than Bali's position. Why? Bali gave up the whole 3 worlds. He gave it all up. He gave up his own guru, Shukracharya. How can you understand then my spiritual master saying like that? I thought, how can that be? How can that? Inconceivable. Inconceivable. And Pali Maharaj gave up all the 3 worlds. Srila Prabhupada just gave up a household life, right? He just gave up a household life, but no, he established among all the milechas this firm. Not only was he fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna, he fixed the whole milecha society in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. That is the exalted nature of Srila Prabhupada. His sannyas, how significant it is. It is the emblem, or you could say a beginning of him. Of course, he's always fixed, and there's no doubt about it. There's no ocean for him as a hoofprint in the hoofprint of a calf. There's no significance for it. But for those who are not fixed, who could not overcome this ocean, even millions of births could not swim across this ocean, he shrunk that for them also and made it into this tiny little thing. That is the exalted nature of Srila Prabhupada. Not only was he the Mahabhagavat, he turned so many others into Mahabhagavats. Who can do that? Who has done that? So this sannyas order of life, this very significant day that Srila Prabhupada took, this order of life for the benefit of us who are sitting here right now. And so many more generations to come. Completely fixed. And what led that? Well, his instructions of his spiritual master, of course. Book production. Srimad Bhagavatam. These books. At the front of war against Maya. Actually, sannyas can also, we can understand this is war against Maya. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. This is war against Maya. This is war against Maya. To be surrendered to the Supreme Personality Godhead, to endeavor to surrender to the Supreme Personality Godhead is war against Maya. That danda, it is his staff of war against Maya. Body, mind, and word surrendered. And then convince others to do so. That is the position of a guru. That is the position of a sannyasi. So this is war. His beginning. His Srimad Bhagavatam, his great weapon. He's writing these books, distributing of the literature. This is the Astra. The supreme Astra. It's stronger than Brahmastra. Stronger than any Astra. This destroys billions and millions and trillions of lifetimes of suffering that are to come, that we've already gone through. No other weapon can destroy that. So Srila Prabhupada, this is his war against Maya. This is his beginning. Okay, now it's time to fight. Lifetime of preparation. That is a nice title in the, I think, is that a whole volume? Yeah, first volume. Lifetime of preparation. Preparation for war. He's coming. He's coming as the Acharya. He's coming and he's exhibiting so many pastimes in order to establish himself very clearly as the Acharya. Very clear. There's no question of it. Only those fools who do not have the eyes to see cannot see. They cannot see. They've derived his particular position. But this Srila Prabhupada is teaching us that one should take sannyas. Everybody. It's not just, sannyas means surrender, mind, words, and body. You may not take the position of a sannyasi. We may not take position of a sannyasi by dress and by danda. Some of you may do so, which would be very ecstatic to see. As my spiritual master was saying, all of you, when you are taking initiation, that all of you are disciples now, but you will be gurus in the future. So that is a position that the society requires. But the principle of sannyas should not be neglected. Or should not think that, it's only for those in the renowned sort of life. Not that grihastas can enjoy and live a life of a neophyte devotee, of a third-class devotional service where you see everything as separate from the Lord. This is real sannyas. To be completely dedicated to the Lord, independent of a circumstance, place, time, inconvenience, convenience. What convenience did Srila Prabhupada have? So we should make it a principle of our life, this taking of sannyas. When we enter devotional service, we're practically doing that, the principle of sannyas. That's what Srila Prabhupada taught us. We don't know anything differently. If you read his books, there is nothing different other than surrender to the Supreme Personality Godhead by your body, mind, and words. That's why everything is about Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Everything is situated in that Srila Prabhupada's program. You follow the program. Everything is body, mind, and words. It's complete surrender. We don't know anything outside of that. And we should not know anything outside of that. We should never know anything. If we come to a stage in our life when we know anything outside of that, then you are an illusion. Then we have become fools. Then in the Srimad Bhagavatam, a sannyasi who gives up the order of sannyas and takes upon house, wife, children, griha again, is like he's eating vomit again. One who vomits and then eats that up again. What is this? Vantasi. So one who takes up devotional service and then gives it up again is the same. One who eats this nonsense, this vomit, one who is already something that should be disregarded. So Srila Prabhupada's whole principle and preaching was done on the basis of his achar, vichar and prachar. Preaching is surrender, his life is surrender, and there's no doubt about it. His mind is is completely surrendered, there's no question. So we should take that principle, and apply it to our life, seeing how to surrender, not seeing how to become entangled. And for those who can, there's no need to get entangled. No need to go through the grihastha ashrama. No need. Just preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Prabhupada wanted to do that his whole life, and he gave us the opportunity to do that now. He gave us the opportunity. We have this actually, if you analyze the order of brahmachari and the order of sannyasi, the Krishna consciousness movement, what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur more or less gave as brahmachari is almost practically sannyas. Because you're preaching. Brahmachari means you live Guru Kule Vasandantan Guru Hitam, you live in the house of the Guru and you study under him, you're studying. But in Krishna consciousness movement, you come in and you're preaching. You're preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya. Going and establishing centers, going and making devotees, going and distributing literature, giving knowledge. This is sannyasi, this is the position of sannyasi. Of course, we have Daivi Varnashram Dharma is there, so you have the opportunity to get married if you desire to do so. But if you can, as Srila Prabhupada often says, remember, stay brahmachari. What's the problem? What is the difficulty? What is the difficulty? Preach, and all of this will go away. You preach, and the itch will go away. There's no need for house of life, this and that. If you can remain a brahmachari, if you can remain dedicated to the preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya, how much can you do for the movement? You do so much. We can do so much. But what do you have to do? You have to take the principle of sannyas in your mind, in your life. You can't talk prajalpa. You can't, you got to engage your senses in Krishna service, not in sense gratification. And your mind has to be absorbed in the chanting of your japa, in the distribution of literature, in the reading of Srila Prabhupada's books. Our minds have to be absorbed in that. Then we'll have no problem. Just give up the idea of doing anything else. Just give it up. You've given up so many things so many times. We gave it all up already. Already the nature of renunciation is there. So this order of life that Srila Prabhupada is taken, and then he's granted it to us to have that opportunity to not have to go through so much difficulty and just completely be able to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. What's the problem? What is the difficulty? Yeah, is it difficult? Well, Srila Prabhupada's life is difficult. He didn't give up. He didn't go, okay, let me just, go back to house of life and do this and that. And he left no option practically. But you have to be absorbed. You want to do that? We want to do that, then we have to be absorbed. We have to know what it means to preach Lord Chaitanya's movement. We have to understand the significance of what we're doing deeply, the exalted nature of the activities that we're engaging in. Not that we're exalted, but the activities are exalted. Very important. Just by dedicating one life, we can help so many other lives. By sacrificing one man, you can save a whole village. So sacrifice your life. Save a whole village. We can distribute so many books, thousands of books, millions of books your whole life, millions. You just stick with it. You may not be the greatest book distributor in the world also, but even if you just do whatever do, at this ashram, if you do 100, it's still low, but you can do at least 100 a day. You do that for your whole life, day in, day out, day in, day out. Srila Prabhupada guarantees us, Lord Chaitanya will personally come and take us back home, back to Godhead. What? This is his sannyas. This is his sannyas, giving the world Krishna consciousness, giving us a position to practice Krishna consciousness. So, we have to be serious. We have to be serious. We have to be very introspective in what we're doing. The position of Srila Prabhupada, what we've gotten. Not many people can get what we have. Although it is open for everybody to come and have, nobody was willing to take it. But somehow or other, by the grace of the representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and our Guru, we have been given the opportunity to understand. Something's clicked. Whoa. And we're here, sitting in front of so many Vaishnavas, sitting in front of the Lord. This is a very rare position. Don't waste the human form of life. Life is very short. Don't waste time, as my spiritual master clearly has in his own computer. So it is very important for us to recognize this. Otherwise, if we do not recognize the importance of what Srila Prabhupada has done, and what his sannyas is, what it represents, what he represents as a sannyasi, the emblem. He is the emblem of the Krishna consciousness movement. He is the emblem of surrender. He is the, he has everything to give. If we do not recognize that, and then the mind starts to think, separate, okay, I can do this, I can do that, forget it all. Just forget it. Just do what we're doing. Distribute books. Take that principle of sannyas in our lives as an internal thing. I mean, we don't have to take sannyas as a thing and all that. But we can internalize it and do the same thing still. Why not? What's the difficulty? Why not? You go through difficulty. If there is difficulty, go through it. Just get through it and become stronger and preach the message stronger by becoming stronger. Don't give up. Never. Practice the platform of devotional service. We should never give that up. Rather burn in the cage of fire, iron cage, than give this position up. We don't understand what we have. We have a bona fide spiritual master. We don't understand what it takes to come to that point. We have Srila Prabhupada's books to distribute. In history before, it didn't have this opportunity. Later in history, we won't have that opportunity also. Many years down the line, in 10,000 years. You may have to, if you don't succeed in 10,000 years in the heavenly planets, come back down. Good luck distributing books then. Unlimited amounts of mercy available. Unlimited. Doesn't mean you just have to be a Brahmin. You can do it in it. But as we see, it's the most conducive in this order of renunciation. Sannyas means renunciation. So we can dedicate, that Srila Prabhupada dedicate this one life to Krishna, whether in an ashram of a brahmachari or a grihastha or whatever it may be. We can have this mood and surrender and just continue. Life is good. I just don't see the problem. I hope I don't see the problem. I don't know. Huh? No problem. Yeah, there's no problem. It's ecstatic. Just absorb yourself. That's the point. When you don't absorb yourself, then you have so many problems. So observe how to distribute more books, how to make more devotees, how to preach. That will give life. Pranati jar hetu prachara. And if you have life, you have Krishna life. Who is the life? What is that life? Krishna life. You like that one? Krishna life. Krishna in the center. Surrender. Krishna life means surrender. So we can teach that. We can show that. We can live that. And what better way to do it than the way we're doing it? traveling all over the sannyas. You guys are all traveling all over the country, preaching. What else does sannyasis do? They travel and preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. You're all traveling. So, but maintain the principle. We should maintain this principle of sannyas, as Srila Prabhupada did. Maintain that. Don't become a sense enjoyer. So we should surrender our body, mind, and words to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Follow in the Acharya, one who teaches by example. Follow in the footsteps of the Acharya. Become completely fixed. And as the Acharyas wanted us to do, they want us to do, 4 times the work that they did? What is it? You should do 4 times, man. 10 times.
10 times what Prabhupada did.
We should do
So then disciples 20.
We should do 20 times than what Srila Prabhupada did. Not serious. We're thinking impossible in our head. But Prabhupada said we're a fool then if we're thinking impossible. You've already lost the game. This has been my experience. And the more the pushback is there, the more we should fight. This is a fighting movement. Don't think we're some peaceful thing that's sitting here, oh yeah, we're reading Bhagavatam and everything is so nice and life is so good. No, this is fighting. Preaching means fighting. The harder it is, the harder we fight back. With what? With the sword of knowledge. Not that we become discouraged. If you become discouraged, then you don't know what you're doing. Then you have no idea. Then you might as well go and try to live a life of peaceful Krishna consciousness. As Prabhupada says, does not go well together. You can go and try to do that. But the more pushback is there, the more we should fight. Why not? Why not? So many are saying, well, you can't preach straight Krishna consciousness. No, we'll show you. We'll show you. Why? Because Prabhupada said so. We can fight. We should fight. And Prabhupada fought. He basically fought against all his god brothers. He's saying, don't do it, don't do it. No, I must go. I must go. His family practically saying, don't do it. No, I must go. Everybody's saying, don't do it. No, I must preach. So there's so many difficulties now. Look at the situation of the world, God. But hearing my own spiritual master speak and Srila Prabhupada's books, why back down? If we die, we die fighting. If we go down fighting. What a glory is for a warrior. There's no other glory than to fight. Die fighting, die on the preaching field. There's no other glory. That is the glory of the warriors of the Sankirtan movement. So we should fight. We should fight to make it 10 times more than what Srila Prabhupada did. 20 times more. What does that mean? Millions of people will join the farms. 20 times more we should do. Why not? Impossible to fools. We should make all of these young students in these universities devotees. Impossible. No, it's not. We just have to figure it out. Srila Prabhupada is a bit of the past of figuring it out. He stuck it out in New York. Stuck it out. Difficulty. But Krishna, he gave that mercy. So we will also get that mercy. But you have to stick it out. Push. Push your mind, push your body, push your words with proper understanding, of course, with proper guidance. To constantly think of Krishna. To chant better, to read better, to understand better. Don't just read. Contemplate. Don't just read. Just because you read a lot doesn't mean anything, actually. You have to read with the idea of realizing what you're reading. And that means you have to read every day. But not just for the sake of finishing some pages up. This will help us surrender more, because we should understand that if we're reading properly, then we start to understand what Prabhupada is saying. So we should fight. This is a fighting movement. We're not here for peace and love. We're here to establish love for Krishna, not love for this material world. So it is a fight. Everybody wants to go against that. So this whole sannyas, this Srila Prabhupada sannyas is a fight. It's a fight. From there, okay, let's go. Bhagavatam, finish these three first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, immediately on the ship. Okay, New York. Okay, immediately starting center. Okay, how to do, what is, maybe like this, maybe like that. Unsuccessful. Kicked out, living with some crazy person that tries to kill him. And then so many other difficulties come. But fighting. That is our position, never giving up. So we can take the principle of Srila Prabhupada's sannyas. So much difficulty was there after he took sannyas. So we should understand that surrender means difficulty. Surrender means difficulty. So we shouldn't expect it to be easy. But we should remain determined to go on fighting harder when it becomes difficult. More intense. Intense in our hearing, intense in our chanting, intense in our surrender, with proper guidance. In this way we can satisfy our acharyas, we can satisfy, the Lord is satisfied, our spiritual master is satisfied. And even if we may not get a particular result that you wanted within our lifetimes, still that surrender, that's the point, that you've surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, independent of all the circumstances, what came, what didn't come. So we should go on preaching and making that the principle of our lives, preaching by our own activities in the terms of having proper behavior, or preaching by going out there and distributing books and speaking and all of these things. So I'll end my class there. If there's any questions or comments, please feel free to ask. Yeah. Hey, Janardhan Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So I had a comment and a question as well. I came across this verse while I was reading through Prabhupada's books just about the order of sannyas. It says, "In this world of duality, family life is the cause that spoils one's spiritual life or meditation. Specifically understanding this fact, one should accept the order of sannyas without hesitation."
Nice.
And then my question was that we see in the life of Srila Prabhupada and in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life that they accepted this order of sannyas for the purpose of preaching, not for some sort of like external reason, just for like the position, but because it was important in the terms of preaching. And we see that some people these days, they say that, okay, nowadays nobody really respects the order of sannyas, nobody really knows what it is, but if you have something like a PhD certification or some high position in society, or you're popular in some sort of way, then people will actually respect you. So instead they say more important than sannyas nowadays for preaching is doing these things. How do we sort of like, what do we say to those people, I guess?
Well, you want to do, the point is that we have to teach surrender to Krishna. By your PhD, that doesn't particularly teach surrender to Krishna. Now, not that a devotee who has a PhD is not surrendered to Krishna, that may not be the case, but that by doing a PhD, you don't show others how to surrender. The point of the order of sannyas is the essence is surrender. That when someone looks at you, they can see a life of surrender. That's why we take this dress as orange. And people can understand. I mean, it's not rocket science. When you go out there, people understand all these people are very different. And it shows by example. But if you can't show by that example, then why will anyone surrender? Oh, I can. The nature of the conditioned soul is be accustomed to the lowest common denominator. Oh, I can. What is the least I can do in devotional service and still be considered okay? So, and often, anyways, doing all of these things contaminates our consciousness so much. So you can't compare. But then again, it's like you're giving them, why do we have to get on their platform? Why do we have to function on their platform? No, they should come to, our point is they should come to us. You want respect, again, it's an external means of respect, again, PhD. Who really cares for a PhD? Nobody gives actually PhD. Actually, if you do PhD, it's like, from my understanding, from my doing science and going through it and seeing those who do PhD, it looks more like suffering. And they're not people that are particularly super respectable, actually. It's a permanent head damage, or pretty hard degree, as one devotee told us it was. So, but I just don't see how, like for example, all of our lives, it's not that like the devotee who cultivated us in my life, he didn't even finish high school, the one that like I was really like impressed by, he didn't finish high school. I was like, I met him and I saw him and I heard him speak and I was like, this is completely different to anybody. And I'm listening to professors. It's not that I'll give my professor more significance than this devotee, because I can see a life of surrender. So it's not valid. It generally comes from the fear of preaching Krishna consciousness, straight Krishna consciousness. Why? It's external means. Prabhupada writes, one should get a PhD from Ramananda Roy. Ramananda Roy is a close associate of the Lord. That means it requires surrender. There's no other solution. It's like, I was saying this thing, Jayadvaita Maharaj was saying that it's not these instruments and this and that and the atmosphere and the lights and the freaking sound bowls and all of this nonsense that attract people to Krishna consciousness. It's the holy name. It's the pure holy name that attracts people. Your nonsense thing that you're doing with all of these things. Sure, these traditional instruments should be played nicely. But the pure holy name is the essence of what's attracting people. It's not. So our attraction is pure devotional service, not PhD devotional service, not bachelor devotional service, not this devotional service. We don't need all those things. Krishna, and devotees have knowledge. If you're really looking for something real, you talk to someone, a devotee. They give you something you've never heard in your whole life. You're like, whoa. So it's much beyond any of these PhD things. Those who can recognize it. Those who don't recognize it, even if you're a PhD, they're not they'll respect you. But in Vedic culture, that respect is given with the understanding this person is surrendered to Krishna. To surrender, not that there's a renunciation idea. But PhD, what is that? So we should keep our dress. We should go like this. People respect that. We've seen in our own preaching. I don't know what they're talking about half the time. People talk about all this. I'm serious. I'm on the field, and then people I hear things from other places. I'm like, what the heck are they talking about? What are they talking? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing like that? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any difference. Or it makes a big impact that we're preaching straightforwardly and in the dress of devotees, saying we're Hare Krishnas. And that's what we're doing, and it's working. Those who, I don't know, maybe you must have seen it. We're putting out these YouTube videos. I think so. If even devotees that I don't know are seeing these videos that we're putting out. And we're putting out, and you'll see that the stigma around this whole thing was that you shouldn't preach very straightforwardly, even on the internet. And that's what you see prominently. You don't talk about Krishna straight, and you talk about yoga, and this is what will do good in the West. But if you look amongst the West, there's no devotee that's prominent on where people are actually at, a place like YouTube, which freaking the whole world is on. And the idea is, well, we'll preach yoga and we'll preach Ayurveda and we'll do all this, and that's how we will get him. But none of it has worked. But then we put out this video recently, and we're clearly saying, look, surrender to Krishna, and Krishna is God, and that's what we worship, and this is what we do. And we're getting so many messages from people saying, we're really impressed by your surrender to God. Even the Christians are saying that. That's a big deal for us, because they cannot criticize. Why? Because our philosophy is so good. Our lifestyle is so good. People are saying, this is an awesome lifestyle. Barely any negative comments. Getting young Western men saying, hey, this is, straight, sane. Nowadays we got to be careful. Saying, hey, this is something that's really amazing. We're really impressed. Calling us, putting us in. Here we go. We have a direct result of one of those. We picked up Los 2.5 weeks ago at his house. But they're impressed. Don't think that the surrender to Krishna is something small. People are impressed. So we just have to preach. We don't have to water down nothing. They're here to learn from us because we've been given the highest platform of existence. So we don't have to stoop to there. We just have to present things in proper light, proper way that brings them to Krishna, that brings them forward. But then we don't have to hide anything. There may be initial, just like on books. Initially there is something, but then the book is the essence of it. Initially you'll see in this video we did, it's like this, and then it's like, straightforward. So yeah, there's no need. We've seen by an example. We've seen we're doing it. We're doing it. Nobody can criticize us for the surrender. Oh, you can't teach him to surrender. It's like, oh, we're doing it right now. What's the problem? And here Lois chanted 16 rounds from day one. What's the problem? What's the difficulty? Chant 16 rounds from day one. What is the difficulty? There's no difficulty. It's all in your mind. Sorry, I'm going on a lot. So is there anything else real quick? With the men? No? Okay. Mataji's, anything? No? Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam.